Today we're going to be making an animated GIF in Procreate. So let's get started. So when I do animated GIFs, I like to do it in Procreate rather than Procreate Dreams just because of the exporting abilities to export into a PNG in Procreate. So we're going to start off with clicking on the little plus right here. We're going to make a new canvas, and I think I'm going to do it 1080 by 1080. We'll use the Instagram preset. The reason I want it small is because there's going to be a lot of layers for this. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to start off with my monoline brush here, and I'm going to make a circle right here in the middle. And that's kind of big. Let me make that a little bit smaller. Maybe that's better. I'm going to hold my finger down and make sure I get a perfect circle here. And then I'm going to move this circle where it's right in the center. Alright? So that starts us off. And I think I want to make the inside of the circle red. Okay, so we got a red circle with a black outline. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to make some eyes. So I'm going to do those on a new layer so I'll be able to manipulate those the way I want it. And I'm going to start off with a black background again. And I need two perfect circles for eyes. And maybe that's good. I'm going to duplicate this one. So if you slide your finger to the left there, you'll have the duplicate options. You can click on that, it'll duplicate the layer, and then we can move that one over to here. I think that's going to end up just perfect actually. So I wanted it to overlap the edges of the eyes just a little bit, and I think that's perfect. Okay, that's what I want. Alright, we're going to put both of those on the same layer, just pinch them together, or let me undo that. You can click on the layer in here and merge down. We'll put them on both layers, but I think just swiping them together makes it a little bit easier. And we're going to make these white in the middle. So drag and drop that white in there. And this is basically our first layer we're going to have. This is going to be like our background layer. This is not going to change at all. So if you want, you could put a smile on his face. It doesn't really matter. I think original one I didn't have a smile, but let's do a smile on this one. So let's do it on the red layer here, and we'll just, oops. Just like that's fine. And I'm going to pinch all of this together because I want this on one layer. Again, this layer is not going to animate at all. Alright, and that's our first part done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the wrench here, and we're going to hit Animation Assist. Alright, so this is going to set frames down here. And the frames down here are exactly like they are here in the layers. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on that, and we're going to set this layer to background. Okay, so that's not going to change at all. It's always going to stay just like that. So that's good if you're doing some kind of animation and you don't want the background to change or anything like that. You can draw all the elements that you don't want animated and set them as a background, and then they'll be static throughout the whole animation. So that's kind of what we wanted. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we need to draw a pencil. So I'm going to start a new layer here. I'm going to turn on my drawing guide so I can get this pencil straight. So click on the drawing guide, edit your drawing guide, and I'm going to maybe make the thickness of this, maybe the grid size, that's what I'm looking for. So grid size a little bit bigger, done. And then on this pencil layer here, I'm going to set it to drawing assist, which is going to keep me on these lines right here. So the pencil's not going to be as thick as that outline, so I'm going to take the size of the brush down a little bit. Let me see if that's, yeah, I think that's fine. So I've got the monoline brush set at about 12%. Alright, we're going to draw a pencil. So I'm just going to do it just like here on the lines. Okay, just about like that, and we need to make an eraser. So maybe we'll do it on that line right there. Alright, I'm going to erase this overlapping stuff. Okay, and then here on the edge. Here we go. Alright, so we got that part. Let's do the eraser part. Okay, and let's make that, well, they're usually kind of a light reddish color, huh? About like that's good. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is let's close off our pencil here. And I'm just going to, oops, I need black. Black, and then we're going to, oh, I still got drawing assist on. Let me turn that off. So here on assisted, click on that drawing assist, turn that off. I'm just going to wiggle like that. And then we're going to make our point. So about like that. I think that's good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, I'm going to do a couple of straight lines here. I'm going to hold my pencil down so they'll stay straight. About like that's good, I think. And then we're going to color our pencil yellow. So maybe that color. Alright, and then we want the part down here, kind of a lighter yellow. That's good, and I need a lead here. I forgot to add the lead, so I'm going to go back to black again. And we're just going to draw like a little black tip right there. Alright, so that is about it. Now, the thing, I don't want my pencil to go off of the screen, so the pencil's going to rotate all the way around our face here. About right there, I guess. Alright, that's good. So now what I want to do is I want to do a circle that's going to be touching the pencil lid right there and kind of make it all the way around this smiley face here. And we're going to do that on a separate layer. So I'm going to make that a little bit thicker than we had. So let me see, 33%. That looks good to me. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start at the pencil here. I'm going to try to draw a perfect circle. We're going to hold our pencil down, touch it with our other finger, and that should be perfect. Let me move it so where it's kind of put in the middle, so it's right there's the center. So I might need to take it down a little bit in size because it's overlapping our pencil a bit. So oops, I still got it on freeform. Make sure you're on uniform, so when you shrink it, it's going to shrink all the sides at the same time. Alright, I'm going to put it back in the center again. Let me see. Nope, still not small enough. Put it right back in the center again. Yep, I think that's good. So that pencil's right on the line, and so we're going to leave it about like that. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do some eyeballs. So I'm going to do this on another layer, and maybe take our pencil up to about 45, maybe. Let's see how big that is. Oops. No, that's still a little small. 67. Probably could do it a little bit bigger, actually. 76. There we go. I think that's good. And I'm going to move them up where it's looking up at the pencil a little bit more. I think that's good. Alright, so that is all of the layers that we need. Okay, so this is going to be a very tedious process, so I'm not going to show everything because once we do it a couple of times, you'll know how to do it. So we just kind of repeat that step right there. So in the very beginning, I want my pencil to stay in frame for maybe 3 frames. So if you tap on the pencil layer there. I'm going to do the hold duration, and we're going to take that out to about 3 frames. So you can see it created 3 kind of ghost frames there. So that pencil is going to hold that position for 3 frames. And then after that, it's going to move. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our pencil layer. So if you're enjoying the content, I have a small favor to ask that makes a huge difference. Subscribing to my channel is like giving a virtual high five, and it means the world to me. When you hit that subscribe button, you're not just supporting the channel, you're joining an incredible community of awesome people who love art just as much as you do. Imagine being part of something bigger where every view, like, and comment helps us grow and reach more awesome folks just like you. Plus, subscribing is super easy. It's just one click, but that one click has a ripple effect, helping me create more content, bringing new ideas to life, and spreading positivity all around. And hey, in the spirit of kindness, how about this? Subscribe and then go out and do something nice for someone today. Hold the door open for a stranger, leave a kind note for a coworker, or simply smile at someone who looks like they need it. Let's make the world a bit brighter together. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and let's make amazing things happen. Thank you for your support. You're the reason this channel exists. So we're going to duplicate our pencil. So you tap it, hit duplicate, and then we're going to take that one and we're going to put it over there at the end. So we got our original pencil, we got our frames being held, and then we got our newest pencil, which is right there. Now this pencil, we're going to move it. So I want it to go all the way around this like it's going to draw that line. So what we're going to do is kind of move it over a little bit, and then we got to rotate it some. And we kind of want it always pointing right there in the center of that circle. So I am going to maybe rotate it a little bit more. I think that's good. So we want it pointing right there to the center of the circle. Maybe overlap that line a little bit more. If you tap, when it's on move, it moves it like a little millisecond at a time, so you can get it exactly where you want it instead of trying to slide your finger over. Alright, so I think that's good for the first one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tap that one and duplicate it again. Now we're going to move this one. We're going to rotate it just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. And then I want to keep that lead kind of in the same spot on that line. So I think that's good. Alright, and then we're just going to keep doing this. Duplicate. Move it over a little bit. Rotate it a little bit. Just like that. And we're just going to do that again and again and again until we get that pencil back in the original position. Alright, so I'm not going to show all of this because it's just going to take way too much time, and you guys basically have the idea. So kind of reference points when you get, let me do it one more time, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Duplicate it. When you get here to the center of the circle, so that should give us a little, I thought it was going to give us a yellow line, but maybe not. So when you get right in the center here of the line, you kind of want that pencil horizontal. So you can use our reference lines here to kind of line that up a bit. So that looks pretty close. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it's pretty close. So just like that. So kind of give you a reference that's where you want it, and then down here on the bottom you'll want it pointing directly up, and then the other one opposite like that. So just kind of take those pencils all the way around until you're finished over here at the end. So I am going to cut the video right now, and I'm going to finish this up off camera. Okay guys, we're back. I've got all the pencil work done, so if you want to take a look at it, here's what I've got. So if we push play, we got our pencil going all the way around back to the original position. Alright, so that is that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the next part. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our circle here, alright, and we're going to duplicate it a bunch of times. So I'm going to do that up here in this section here, and what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate it, duplicate it, duplicate it, and then we're going to drag one in between each pencil. until we got all of them done. So again, duplicate, 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 and then we'll drag one in between each pencil. Okay, so keep doing that until you get them all done. Okay guys, we're back. We got all of our circles done. One thing I want to make sure that you guys don't do, if you accidentally, when you're clicking and dragging these, if you accidentally drop it on the layer, it's going to create a group for you, and you don't want that. So what you'll have to do to fix that is to drag it out of the group up here, and then take that layer and drag that out of the group, and then we can go ahead and delete the group. So just in case that happens. We're going to group them later, but not right now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we want this pencil to look like it's drawing a line. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the beginning. So that's our first circle right there. And we're going to delete it until it's just a dot at the very top there. So what I'm going to do is take my pencil here, and we're going to delete until it's right there. I'm going to take all of this off. Make sure you get it all. You don't want little bitty lines in there popping up in your animation. So I'm going to do about that much right there. Okay, and then we're going to go to our next circle right there. And I think to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to go to my settings, and I'm going to take my onion skin frames, and I'm going to take it all the way down to 2. So that way I'll be able to see the last one and the current one. That way I'll know where to erase it from. So this one, we're going to erase right there, and then all of it on this side. Until we get, and you know what? To make this a little bit easier, let's go to your original layer. So our little smiley face there, and let's take our brush size to about 2%, and let's make a little bitty mark here in the center. I got the eraser still on. That's too big. Take our pencil down way small, and I'm just gonna make a little mark, kind of a reference mark right there, so I'll know where to finish at for my line when I'm erasing. Alright, so let's go back to our circle again. So that one, let's take off that little bit. Okay, so now we'll know that it starts right there, and then our pencil is right there. So our next circle, click on it. We're gonna delete all the way up to where the pencil is touching it, all of this off until our little reference mark right there. Right there. And you're just going to keep doing that to each circle. So right there at the pencil, and then all of this part up into our reference line. Alright? And just keep doing that over and over again until you get all the way back to where you started from. Okay guys, we're back, and I think I've got all of them done. I'm going to check out what the animation looks like for right now. And let's push play. Here we go. Alright, that looks fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my first frame here and erase that little reference line. We don't need it anymore. Go to my eraser tool and we'll get rid of that. Alright, and now you're probably wondering, why is it blinking? And that's a good question. Well, the reason it's blinking is because we have the pencil and the line that's being drawn on different frames. So the pencil is disappearing one frame, and then the line is disappearing one frame. So we need to fix that. So the way we're going to fix that is we're going to group them now. So we're going to take our one line, one pencil. We're going to select them. So if you click on one and you slide the one to the right a little bit, it'll select both of them, then we can hit group. Alright, and then we're going to do that for all of them. Now you can see why I wanted a small canvas, because it takes a lot of layers to do this. So we're just going to keep grouping these together, and then a group will count as one frame now instead of two separate frames. Alright, we've got them all done. So now when we play our animation, it won't be jumping anymore. So let's see what that looks like now. And we got our line going all the way around. Boom, and we finished. Okay, so that's the way we want it. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take our eyes. And as we did with the other frames, we need to do the same thing with these eyes. So what we're going to do is duplicate them, and we're going to drag one in that group. Duplicate it again, and put one in the next group until you get one set of eyes in each group. Alright guys, we're back and we got all of our eyes. So what we need to do now is we need to animate our eyes, and what I'm going to do is have the eyes following the pencil. Alright, so I'm going to do, the first one's going to stay just like it is, but the next set, we're going to click on them. We're going to move them a bit, just over just a tiny bit. And we're going to do that for each set of eyes. We're going to follow the pencil. You can see from your onion skin, you can see where your last one was, so you just want to move it a little bit over from that one. I think I'm moving my eyes a little bit too much, so I'm going to kind of leave them in the same spot for a little bit. I'm not going to move much once we get up here. And that last set of eyes we don't need, so I'm going to delete those. Alright, so now we've got all of our eyes moving. Let's see what our animation looks like. So I'm going to play. There we go, it's fine. The eyes are kind of wonky there at the bottom, but it don't matter. Still looks fine. Yeah, I like it. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do is at the very end of our animation, we want the circle here to shrink. So the pencil and everything's going to stay in the same position. So I'm just going to click on that last frame and duplicate it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start having that circle right there. So we're going to have to go into the group itself. And let's make this thing shrink some. And we're going to put it right in the center again. I think that's close enough. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to duplicate that layer again, and then go into it up here. So it'll be the top, very top one. Go to the circle. Let's scale it down some more. I'm going to put it right back in the center. Alright, one more time. Duplicate. Go to our circle, scale it, make sure it's in the center, about right there. Same thing, duplicate it, go to our circle, scale it, and put it in the center. Just keep on doing that. Should be it right there. Alright, now let's look at see what it looks like. Play. Here we go. And that is it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's kind of showed you how you can make your own animated GIFs. Feel free to experiment with it. Love to see what you did. If you put something up on Instagram or anything, tag me with it. Channel does art, so I'll be able to take a look at it. But having said that, I will see you guys next time for another Procreate or Procreate Dreams tutorial. Take care.